Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 22 of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We did not release an episode last week. For what reason did we not release our podcast last week?
We're going to be honest. Hi, everybody. We're going to be honest about this. So it was our Mother's Day edition, and Ava had found a very cool, and we can tell you where it is, list of questions that were that you could pose to your mother to find out more about her.
I wouldn't say they were very cool, but that's an interesting way to put it.
Okay.
An in-depth list.
Totally in-depth. And so we decided to do, Ava wanted to try asking me the questions and me answering. And at the end of the episode, we were both like, I don't know if anybody cares about my answers except us. It didn't seem that exciting, I'll be honest.
Yeah, we weren't super sold on last week's episode.
Wait, where were the questions from, though? Because they were
It's from the New York Times. They're not that cool. They're interesting.
But some of them were interesting. Like, what friend in your life don't you speak to anymore?
Yeah, there were some good ones, but we were in the wash. We realized that we don't think our listeners would be super engaged by it.
So you can check it out, or
the questions.
Ava's friends or our younger listeners, if you want to get to know more about your mom.
No, I mean, your listeners could also get to learn more about their moms.
Oh, that's true. Well,
doesn't really have an age limit.
I suppose. That's true. That might have been interesting. Anyway, happy post-Mother's Day to all. So that is why the truth, the tea on why.
Oh, God.
And that is what we're going to talk about in our big segment this afternoon. We're going to talk about whether or not I used the wrong language and dressed the wrong way, pretty much.
Yes. Okay, housekeeping.
Yep, I have a lot of housekeeping. Okay, so because we missed a week, I'm going to say what I said a few things last week. One of which is we had a lot of people talk to us about the identity issue and weighing in about how they are trying to break away from their parents and have their own identity. And I just wanted to say, because I'm not sure I was articulate in talking about how moms feel about their kids who spin off and they are obviously growing and fly away from the nest. And it's very hard for moms. And I just want to say that we identify a lot with our kids, I think, as parents. And sometimes we put a lot on hold to raise our kids. And so when they are finally launching on their own, it can be a little bumpy for a mom or dad or parent to let the kid go and to figure out there's a lot of free time and space and emotion that goes along with it. And I just want to say it is not such an easy minute. It might not be an easy minute for you guys, but it's not an easy minute for us too. So that was one thing. The second thing I want to talk about was we've been talking about AI and we've been talking a lot about whether or not school.
You gotta stop with the AI. It keeps coming back up.
So I see this week we've been talking about whether or not you should use AI or shouldn't, and should schools use AI and should kids use AI. And I did see this week, which I'm sure you might have seen, that a student at Northeastern University is suing the school because the professor said you're not allowed to use AI, and then the professor used AI.
No way.
So the student is suing for their tuition.
No way.
Absolutely. Students pissed off in the business school.
It's
pissed
sick.
Off,
I
right?
love that.
I know. I thought that was really interesting also because basically professors, and this was in the New York Times also, professors love AI because it helps plan lessons, but they don't want kids to use it to do the assignments.
Totally.
That seems wrong.
Wrong.
I think you have to. I did read too this week. There's some school district that's embracing AI for their kids for like middle school and high school. I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I just don't know how you get somebody to like write a paper or something like that. Like, I don't know how you deal with homework and the logistics of that to make sure that the kids are actually learning. But
I think they're trying to say, like, here's how you incorporate it. Here's how you can use it, but here's how you shouldn't use it. And I think that's right, because I use it. We all use it, right? So
Yeah.
I'm using it to help me plan the trip. And by the way, I think it's actually very, very
Oh, God.
good.
We're going to end up in like the middle of nowhere.
No, untrue. I'll let you know how that
We're going to
goes.
be like on the side of a mountain, like
No.
fighting for our lives.
Not going to happen. Okay. I did also want to tell everybody that we are waiting for this to happen, but we have encouraged Dad to start leaving us messages because every week
It's so annoying. He won't do it. We asked him to do one thing. He asked for the phone number. He said, yes, I'll call in. No calls have been made. He wanted to utilize the voicemail to let everybody know his opinions. Voicemail has not been utilized.
Every week he listens, and every week he needs to sit us down and tell us everything about the pod. So Ava said, Dad, why don't you just call in and then we can play the message and we can get your feedback? And yet he refuses to do it.
Hasn't done it.
So anybody want to sit down with Eric for an hour while
This-
he
I mean-
unloads on us about the pod?
I mean, he gets patients every single day unloading on him. So
It's true.
Now-
But he won't unload. It's a little weird.
Oh,
okay,
God.
That's it for my housekeeping.
the therapist is resisting becoming the patient on the pod.
That's true. We got to talk to Dad. He's got to just...
He also asked me for the phone number. I sent it to
20
him and
times.
heard nothing back.
20
He
times.
has the number. He could leave the voicemail at any point of his day, and he just hasn't. Maybe he realizes that maybe he's scared of the judgment that will come from his critiques.
Could be. It could be. I think, though, he has some good points. Like, he had said a few things that I thought were interesting. All right. Should we go into love and hate?
Yes, we should go into love and hate.
What'd you love this week?
This
I know what
week,
it's going to be. I 100% know. I wish I could write it on the scorecard.
I don't think you're
and
going to
hold it
know.
up. I think I 100% know what you loved. I'm shocked if it's not what I think it is. Think back. What'd you do this week? Think back.
No, that wasn't my love of the week.
What?
That was like an amazing experience,
I
but that
cannot
wasn't
get
my
over
love
it.
of the week.
All
Okay.
right, she'll give a PS.
My love of the week has been the vibes in New York are so good because the Knicks are entering into
Uncharted territory.
yes, playing against the Indiana Pacers. And I just love walking around and everybody's wearing their Knicks gear. It just feels so festive and communal and united. And so I just feel like amidst this clusterfuck of a mayoral race, we have such a united feeling across the city because the Knicks are doing well. I am nervous about them not doing well. I feel like the vibes are going to be very low.
Okay, a few things on this. First of all, we went to hear live music last night at a place that was phenomenal. We went to a place called the Olive Tree with our friends, Comedy Cellars downstairs, the famous Comedy Cellar. There was a band, phenomenal, and the drummer was wearing a tie-dyed hoodie and a Knicks hat.
The Knicks hat is crucial.
And guess what? He and Dad, after the show, total bonding, standing in the corner talking for a long time about the Knicks, and he was hugging Dad.
It seems as though Dad feels giving everybody else his 10 cents is okay,
It's
but
true.
the moment it's on the podcast,
It's true. And for those of you that don't know, Knicks have not been in the playoffs, I believe, for 25 years. And I do want
the last time it was against the Indiana Pacers, which is the position they're in right now.
And our best guy, Jalen Brunson, and he is amazing and a seemingly amazing human being. His dad played on the Knicks, so there are pictures of him in the Knicks locker room when he was a kid. And Patrick Ewing left him a really cool video Instagram post that was really nice. So
You know his wife's Jewish,
who?
Jalen Brunson.
I did not.
His wife is a Jewish physical therapist, and they have
Really?
Jewish children.
Wow, fascinating. Look at that.
It's not only Amari Stoudemire on the Knicks. That's the
By
Jewish
the way,
connection.
I saw him dressed up like
I
as a
know
full
he.
Chabad.
I know he
And
had
I
his
saw
like.
him-
Yeah.
He wore his black hat.
Yeah.
I saw Amari Stoudemire, and he was like really into it. Really interesting. Anyway, we're super excited about the Knicks. And Dad says, just so you know, he thinks they're going to beat Indiana, and they have a good chance. And by the way, it's also been really cool because you got people like Timothy Chalamet like partying on 7th Avenue with 1 million Knicks fans, and you've got Spike Lee going crazy. You got people like swan diving into giant crowds.
Oh my God, I actually haven't seen this picture. He literally wears a black hat.
I told you.
I thought you were talking about him sitting in the crowd at the game, because he was wearing a hat.
No. I've seen him at
But I know I'm seeing this right now. The Times of Israel.
rabbis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He is like, and I see him praying.
Oh my God, he's Orthodox?
Yes.
Wow.
Ava. I'm like telling you, I saw him in study group with the rabbis.
Where HBO filmed him at his morning prayers at his local
Yes.
synagogue.
And all these little short white
Yes,
Jewish
I'm
men,
looking at that right now
and
next to
then giant
him.
black hat, Amari Stoudemire.
I've been aware since my youth that I'm Hebrew through my mother. Wow. Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, I always knew he was Jewish, but I didn't know that he was Orthodox.
But did he play on Shabbat? I'd like to know.
I think he did.
Well,
He did not become Orthodox until after leaving the NBA.
Oh.
It just said that in 2021.
What about the kid from Brigham Young University? You know, they've got the quarterback.
I'm not
who's
going
Jewish.
into all the Jewish
No, I want to know if he
football.
plays
I'm not
on
going
Saturday.
into. I
Do
don't.
they play?
I'm not
Okay.
going into the Jewish players. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a path that, you know what, Dad, if you want to educate the crowd about Jewish athletes that have been successful despite our small disposition and not necessarily
You mean
being
stature?
and disposition. That's right.
A small isn't disposition your
Like-
like countenance, your
but like-
personality? It's not so small.
It's not small, but it's
I think the numbers of it's your small
are the
percentage.
unathleticness of our community.
Athleticness is not a word, but
In
lack of
athleticism,
athleticism.
the lack of athleticism in our community. If you want to tell us
You
about
realize
all
you're
the success,
stereotyping right now, right?
yes, they deserve to be stereotyped. We're not that athletic. Like, let's be real.
Why Mark's okay?
Oh my
I'm not gonna
God.
get into it.
It's like there's one good Jew at a sport and we all know who it is.
I'm not getting into it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that was the love of my week.
Nick's amazing.
What's your love?
So I don't know if this is a love, but I do.
Oh my God. It's just like fucking say that you love. Say that your love and your hate. There's always a caveat. I don't know if it can be both. Just say it.
Okay.
My love of this week is
that I heard yesterday walking through Union Square something that made me laugh. I saw a mom who was in her probably mid-30s holding hands with one young child who looked about 5 or 6 on one hand and one on the other hand who was also 5 or 6. And this is the conversation snippet I hear. Oh, so you're Polish? We're Polish, she's saying to the kid, one of the kids. Mm-hmm. You're Polish? We're Polish. Can you tell your mom to follow me on Instagram? That's what I heard this woman say to a 6-year-old.
Oh my God. The mom said it to the child's friend?
Yes.
Okay, you made it sound like she had 2 of her own children.
No. There was a kid. Oh, sorry. There was her kid and I guess a friend. She said to the child's friend
she's
who's 6 years
established
old,
to the 6-year-old friend that they are both Polish. And so
apparently
the mom
she has some sort of Instagram that celebrates being Polish or something.
Wow, so you really liked the
So you
subtle
think that's
ask?
insane that she said to a 6-year-old, tell your mom to follow me on Instagram.
It's funny. That's funny.
That's weird. That's why I don't know if I loved it or hated it. I thought it was very New York.
I don't know. Maybe the Polish community is in a time of bonding, and so
Maybe, but would you say to a 6-year-old?
I don't know.
Tell your mother to follow me on
It's funny.
Instagram?
Maybe she's lonely.
And then I heard him.
Maybe she
her
wanted
say,
friends.
Oh, is your mom here? And he said, no, my mom is gone. And I got really scared that the mom had passed away. And then he said, my mom's at home. I was like, oh God. Okay.
Aw.
What's your
It's a
hate?
new way to make friends.
No, I think it's weird. Like,
Oh
who
my
would
God.
say that to a 6-year-old?
My hate of the week is I went out to dinner last night and I needed another condiment on the side because the regular ketchup for my fries wasn't doing it for me. Let me know why it's like, I actually don't remember the exact price. I think it's like $1.50 for a side of sriracha mayo. Like, condiments should not be charged for under any circumstances. All of these restaurants nickel and dime you for, condiments. And guess what? I've had enough. It's a sauce. It could be a part of the dish. You forgot to put it on, or your dish doesn't taste good. Why don't you just give it to me for free?
Do you want to add in the addendum here for lunch we just had?
What, the lunch that we just had gave us a free condiment?
They did, but they charged us how much for?
Oh my God, the gluten-free bread was $4 extra. I don't choose this life.
$4 for gluten-free bread.
This arbitrary charging at restaurants has really peaked and hit its limit, and I'm over it, and I just feel like I'm being scammed everywhere I go, left and right.
Yeah, I have to say, I wonder if our listeners feel the same, but I don't even want to eat out anymore. It's too expensive. Even though I want to support local businesses, it's too expensive, and the food is not that good. Right?
Not that good.
I want to just cook. I cook
Not
all
that
the time.
good.
I think it's just... It's insane how much lunch at the diner costs or breakfast. It's out of control.
Okay,
I too had an incident yesterday before I heard the mom
the
saying,
Polish conversation.
to the Instagram conversation. So I was very upset on the subway, got on the subway, and here I am thinking, I look pretty good. I look okay.
Oh my God, did somebody call you ugly or something?
No, but someone tapped me
And said, do you want my seat?
Yes!
Oh my God, you're kidding.
No.
Somebody tapped you and said, ma'am, do you want my seat?
I was standing
Oh
at the
my
pole.
God, I
was
would
very
be
crowded.
suicidal.
A guy who was probably in his 30s.
Holy shit.
I was standing right in front of him. And he said, I went like 2 stops. I was like, why, do I look really tired? And by the way, I thought I looked okay. I was going to meet one of my old friends for a drink. I thought I looked okay. You saw what I was wearing. I looked okay.
Mom, I can't believe that happened
and
to
like tapped my arm and said, would you like to sit down?
Oh,
and I was like, absolutely not.
Wait.
Thanks, I'm good where I
Did your
am.
face, like, you sometimes put on face. Sometimes they're like...
I don't know what I was doing, but I was so furious, and I felt badly that maybe I scared him because I said, absolutely not. I'm fine where I am.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
Oh my God. Well,
And then
I
I
would
thought-
that would be on my mind.
And then
I
thought,
would be
oh,
upset.
Well, was it because it was crowded and he was getting off? But guess what?
He didn't get off.
He got off at 2 stops.
Oh,
not 1. If it had been the next stop, I would have actually not been upset. But here's the fact. I'm old.
Okay, you're not that old though. You're not gray.
I know.
Which is funny because Natalie actually asked me this week when the last time I got up for an elderly person was, and I said never because somebody else usually does it.
I always used to ask, but you know what?
I'm done asking. If you want a seat, then like make yourself look unhappy and I'll stand
older
up.
people.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like
usually the other
really
people
old
take care of
people.
that.
So I have a conundrum for you. If you're on the bus and you know they save the front seats for people who need help, if there are no other seats, do you sit in that seat?
I always sit in the front.
You do?
Always.
I never do because I feel like it's not nice. What if somebody needs the seat?
No one's sitting in it. I'm sitting in it.
No, I think that's wrong.
I always sit in it.
Even on the subway,
Yep.
they have those seats.
Always sit. Unless somebody gets on who needs a seat more than me, I'm not standing.
I want to say one thing to you. Okay, I guess for like most older people, but if somebody looks like they need some assistance, but I think like young moms or moms and young kids, not young moms with young children and pregnant people, you should always offer your seat.
Yes. That's different than an elderly person.
No, but an elderly person, if they're, yes.
Oh, you got
I
profiled.
don't think I'm elderly. I don't want to say I am not elderly.
You
I'm
got
just getting older.
You
I
got
did get
capital P'd.
I know. It was really upsetting. Okay, that was my hate. Yes?
Nothing. I was going to the listener question. I was just waiting for you to say the segment is up.
I did say the segment is up. You were Say what you were doing. Checking her Instagram.
No, I wasn't. I was
email.
checking my email. I got something from work. Okay. It came up as I was trying to get our question. So our question of the week is, hi, ladies. I'm a 24-year-old trying to build a career in a super competitive field, and my mom keeps telling me to just walk in and hand them your resume in person. I know she means well, but it feels so outdated and honestly a little embarrassing. How do I respect her advice without ignoring how the world works? Please help.
What do you think of that?
I feel like that is giving dad saying just to reach out to people when I was applying for jobs, and I just thought that was the most frustrating thing ever. Like, what do you mean just reach out to people? And then I guess as I got deeper into my job search and I realized that it's not that weird to cold email, I became more strategic and did research and found the right people to reach out to. But I do have to say, there's nothing more annoying. It's like the famous, like, viral video of like the girl telling her dad that she wants to work for Taylor Swift. And he's like, well, why don't you just call Taylor up? Like, we all would just call Taylor up if we could, okay? We all would, but we can't.
I don't know that video, really.
You wouldn't know this video.
I guess I wouldn't, but I think that's funny.
So I think it's just the same, like, what's great about technology is that it's made our world so much bigger and we can reach people that we wouldn't usually have access to. But in that same vein, everybody's trying to access these people. So it's really more about like standing out and being compelling. And so being the sibling of a brother who is very driven and always reaches out and is very compelling, I think has been motivational in getting over that hurdle of being embarrassed or not wanting to reach out. But I think the same problem still stands, that sometimes it's just not as easy as sending a good email and reaching out to somebody.
So I was struck by whether or not this person was saying that their parent was saying bring it in person, right? So were they saying bring it in person? Because
this says bring it in person.
So that was something that we would have done in my generation. I think that is not good advice because very few offices are in person these days, right? If it's an office job, people are working remotely. You don't know which days people are in. That just seems wrong. Plus, security, you can't get up to an office. Like, everything about that is wrong. You're not going to leave it with the security desk. No one even cares, right? So bad, that's not such good advice. So what you could say to the parent is, I'm not sure that would work now, but what the person could do is, and I have known people to have success, I think you're right that part of it is getting over the fear and embracing the like the game of it all. Just like, can I get somebody to respond to me, and feeling really good about yourself and positive about it. Because if you go in feeling nervous and scared, it's not going to work. So I do know, and your brother included, but I know other young people who basically go to the top, right? They always tell you, like, go to the middle, go to the hiring manager. But what Will has figured out is those people, middle level people, never respond. They're too busy working and they're too busy, like, in their own trying to get ahead. If you do go to the top people and the senior people and send them a compelling note, often they will get back to you. Mm-hmm. And I always use the example of my intern at one of my jobs wanted to do a partnership with Amazon. And he literally sent a note to Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos responded.
Yeah.
So it can work. You just need to craft something compelling and make them want to read it with a good subject line, not a subject line of, hey, I'm a senior at X
seeking
school.
Career
Right.
advice.
Yeah, no, has to be something really interesting.
I got the next partnership for you.
And know what you're asking, and ask for what you want. I want a meeting. I want a
Yeah,
interview.
having
I
a
want
good
5
ask in
minutes.
mind is good.
Yeah.
I think that's critical.
Like, say, here's who I am, here's why I'm amazing, and here's what I would like from you. And often, if they won't respond, the top people, they do pass it on. Will did have somebody pass on to the HR, and within 20 minutes of him sending a note to the senior person at a company, within 20 minutes, HR reached out to Will.
Yeah.
He didn't end up getting the job, but he got pretty far.
Yep.
So I think
The initiative is the first step.
So I think
but
the parent might have given not great advice.
outdated advice.
Outdated
Does that
advice.
segue correctly?
It does. Okay. I'm in charge of this week's big topic. And the big topic is, it came up. Yep, Ava's doing the drum roll. It came up because my friend Laura was visiting and she had a conversation with Ava and me. And we were talking about language that makes us old. And we were asking Ava about if the way we talk makes us sound old. And that got us into a conversation about what are things that age us. So I would like to ask you a few questions.
When you say getting stoned, I'm like, oh my God, you're a million years old.
And what would I say instead of getting stoned?
Are you smoking?
So you don't say weed?
No.
Are you smoking?
If you were from
But
New York,
smoking's like cigarettes.
if you're
to
from
me.
right, there's no distinction there. If you're from New York City in the mid 2000s, you would say, "Have you been siphoning?"
Siphoning? Never heard that.
CYPHING.
What's
That's
that
what
mean?
everybody smoking weed.
But what's siph? Never heard it.
I don't. Well, it's actually an interesting question if it has an alternative meaning. Let's see.
So your generation does not say they were getting stoned.
No, smoking.
What does stoned mean? Like throwing rocks at someone?
Stoned means you're old as fuck. Like stoned means nothing.
Okay, so can I ask you about a few other things?
Wait, but that's funny because siphoning, I think, is a play on like siphoning.
Siphon, like a siphon where you're siphoning things off. Yeah, but why would that be?
Because a siphon is like a bent
Oh.
tube that uses gravity to transfer liquid from a higher to a lower container.
No, I understand what a siphon is.
So, like, I think it's like the transfer
I see.
aspect. Maybe that's how it caught on, but I don't know the origins.
Okay, interesting. Never ever heard that. Okay, can I ask you about a few things
Yeah.
that I use and that I say?
Let's hear.
Some are idioms, some are just words.
Okay.
Okay. I do often say cool, totally,
Okay.
whatever. A professor of mine used to call it the flying whatever because you generally put it at the end of a sentence.
Blah, 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 or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, totally cool, awesome, bogus, wicked,
Bogus.
Are all these,
Bogus is horrible.
are all these outdated?
I've never heard you say bogus.
What about
Wicked is like,
wicked's very Boston.
yeah, I was just going to say you're from Massachusetts.
But what about cool?
You know what you didn't put in there? You always call everything fab.
I do?
Fab.
No, I say fabulous. I
No,
don't
you say that's fab.
Oh, I do.
That's
say
fab. That's fab.
Does that date me?
It doesn't date you. It's just an interesting one for you to pick up on.
Would your friends say any of those words I just said?
Cool, yeah. Cool
What about
is just
whatever. You say whatever.
yeah, or whatever.
Okay, you're the flying whatever. Maybe
What else?
You use it differently.
Bogus is just like a vocabulary word. Like I would never use it for any reason.
Okay, so that was bogus.
No.
People used to say that. Okay. So then I was thinking about idioms because Laura said that I think the one she said to her kids was something about bending over backwards, and her kids were like, "What?
Oh,
what does that mean?"
No, normal. Bending
Really?
over backwards is normal.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
that's
about
like a saying.
What are all these very dated? By the seat of your pants.
Okay. No,
Have a cow.
you're going too fast.
sorry,
Do you
sorry.
want my input or not?
Yes, yes.
By the seat of your pants is another one, bending over backwards. Like they're just saying. They're just like a saying.
Yes, but
It's neither young nor old. Like, I think that if you were to use it, it was because somebody older in your life was using it. Like, I don't think it's inherent. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I just got on the train by the seat of my pants. But if I did say it, I think it would be understood why I'm saying it.
Got it. What about something like 2 peas in a pod?
Love 2 peas in a pod.
You use
I use
that?
it all the time.
See, because I was thinking my parents, who seemed so old, obviously, at the time when I was growing up, they used a lot of idioms. And so I feel like my generation uses a lot of idioms, and some of the same idioms that my parents used and some different. And then I was thinking, well, do you guys use idioms?
Two peas in a pod all the time. I love that one.
You do?
But that might be specific to me. But I love that one.
But do you think you use it because I use it? Like maybe we
no, I
follow
think
our
I use it
parents.
because I just like, I think
the
that two
idea of the
peas in a
peas.
pod is very self-explanatory. By the seat of your pants, like, you kind of have to have some background knowledge for that one.
What about something like jump through hoops
Mm-hmm.
or hit the nail on the head?
Yeah, both used.
You do?
But I wouldn't say it would be the go-to for people my age, but if they were to hear it, they would completely understand what it was. Hit the nail on the head, I actually do think people my age would use.
What about up in the air?
Yeah, TBD.
No, see, you say TBD.
No,
I
but
say
it's also up in the air. That they're interchangeable.
See, I wouldn't say TBD. I don't know
Okay.
if someone in my generation would say TBD.
I work with people that are your age that say TBD.
Really?
So,
Okay. Wait, I have more. And then there are a few other things I
Okay.
want to ask you. Okay. So then I was thinking about things that people my age do that maybe you think are actions that definitely age us.
okay.
So if someone were going to make a playlist, I think people in my generation go to iTunes, and do you people go to Spotify?
Yeah, except people in your generation don't go to iTunes because dad's is all on Apple Music.
Yeah. So he's
He's
right.
leveled up.
So he doesn't have a.
Nobody uses iTunes, Mom.
Oh.
Like I didn't even know the iTunes library still existed.
Oh. Okay. What about, you know how when we talk about music, we talk about albums, even though no one listens to albums anymore? Would you
Yes.
talk about albums? still?
Yes. Yes.
Is it a record? Is it an album?
An album
It is?
or a release.
A release. No, see, we wouldn't say that. What about Saturday Night Live? That was super cool.
Love, but I'm only
Is it
really
cool?
loving this season. I wouldn't say it's cool. I'd say it's like a cultural phenomenon.
But does your generation watch?
Here and there, I think it depends on the guest.
Okay.
I think if it's somebody timely, like a lot of people tuned in for Morgan Wallen because he had a lot of drama surrounding.
Yes, I heard that.
So I think it's more of like if the person is timely.
Got it. Okay, wait. I do have a few more things about. So in business, people say things like "Let's circle back."
Yes.
I think that's my age, right? Or do people your age?
No, isn't that just corporate speak?
I don't know.
Let's circle back, I think, is just straight up corporate speak.
And what I do also feel like a lot of people my age say things like, "I'm not tech savvy," or "I don't know."
Yes, totally.
And that makes me feel aged and deep.
I mean, that's aging yourself.
I know.
That's like you're doing it to yourself. Like, I don't know how to use this. Like, okay, I didn't expect you to know how to use it, but now that you're being vocal about it, like you're old.
You don't expect me to know how to use technology?
I think that I'm not surprised when older people are bad at using technology. And I think it makes them more valuable when they don't need my help.
Actually, with technology.
It drives me insane at work when older people ask me to help them with technology because I wouldn't get the job if I couldn't use it.
Are they senior to you?
Yes.
Yes. This is the thing. They bumped up at a time when they didn't need technology. And
Right.
Now they're sort of at a
But I
deficit.
wouldn't get the job if I didn't know how to use Google Sheets.
Yeah, I think.
I think it's horrible.
I
It's
actually think a good takeaway is
It's not in
if
my
you're
job
a
description.
Yeah, if you're in a job where you don't know how to use the technology, on the weekend you should have your kid or somebody teach you.
It's
the
not in my
systems.
job description to help
No,
you
I'm just
learn.
saying.
No, and I know, and I'm saying I think it's so frustrating, so unprofessional. I would not get hired if I didn't meet the requirements, and now you're asking me to do your Google Sheets? The fuck is that?
Right. I think that's wrong. I think everybody should just be responsible for themselves. And I also think knowing technology and asking your kids for help so you can master it goes a long way with your colleagues. Right?
100%.
For me, as a boss, I ran a website and didn't know anything about that. And I spent a lot of time learning on my own time. And I think it added to my credibility. And I felt a tremendous amount of accomplishment when I was able to participate in a conversation about creating a website and knowing what I was talking about.
I would also want to take it a step further and say that I think people your age might find it to be like endearing and nice when they like struggle with technology. Nobody my age finds it endearing or nice.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Like, I think people your age, oh, like, I'm so old. Like, I don't know this. I didn't grow up with this. Then adapt. Like, it's not my issue. I actually find it to be the most annoying thing, especially when these are the people hiring who are like, you have to have X, Y, and Z requirements. And then they open a Google Doc and they're like, how do I leave a comment? I didn't grow up with this stuff. Figure it out. Like, what? Just like you're telling me that I have to figure out how to do this job and I need to have X, Y, and Z under my belt. So annoying.
So I have a question for you. This is this is off. I have lots more. I do want to talk about clothes if we have a minute. But do you think technology is the thing that ages us, that separates us the most between a young generation and an old?
Yeah, maybe.
Like knowledge of technology?
Yeah. I just think even the way that you interact with your phone is so different than how I do.
Because I only use it to check texts.
Yeah, and also you're a lot slower.
I am slower.
Like even opening windows and stuff. Like you're just slower at it.
Yes. Tell me what you... Like everything's on... Your life is
like I can Google everything in 5 seconds. When we are looking for a restaurant to eat, I've already found like 5 options and you haven't opened the window on your phone yet.
That's not true. You're making a sound. I was...
Okay.
The window was open. I was reading.
Okay. But yeah, I do think technology is a big indicator of there being a difference. Yeah.
And what about Venmo? Is that the preferred way people of your generation send money? Yeah. So you should know Venmo.
Venmo, yeah, Zelle, whatever.
Because I know how to Zelle, but I don't have a Venmo account.
You've never had a Venmo
I
account.
know. I just don't know why. I should just do it.
You make Dad Venmo.
I do. I don't know why. Sometimes I just feel like, I think the problem is some people in my generation, well, I'll speak for myself.
Well, even you saying I think
all the time.
You saying I think is it the reason enough? No one in my age is thinking
I know. I'm aging myself. Is that good or bad? Should I be aging myself? Like, do kids want their parents to be here?
I think, no, I think it depends on the person. I think some technological savvy is important, but I don't think it's like the most crucial necessary thing.
I'm going to tell you, I think I could like code you. I can code more than you can.
I'm not asking you to code me anything.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm so proud of you for having that skill, but
I can tell you how to do
you meet your job requirements.
I do. Okay. So, all right, that's it. Oh, I do want to ask about emojis because we've had this situation.
Yes.
Do you guys use emojis? And what about those ones that pop up that you're like, Mom, stop giving a thumbs up to everything?
I don't say that.
I think in the beginning you did.
No.
You're like, no one uses those.
No, everyone uses the react emojis.
The react ones?
Yeah.
But
I think that there's
emojis?
a lot of meaning portrayed in emojis that you guys wouldn't like know because you're not like chronically online. For example, like people like laughing while crying, like the emoji of like laughing while crying is really like has a sarcastic undertone that I think you guys don't know.
No, I knew that, but somebody sent it to me in the wrong context of crying, and I was like, I think that's not what I meant.
So I think that some of the emojis have these like dual meanings based upon like how online you are and kind of the context in which they are being used.
But should I be using emojis?
If you use too many emojis, then you're really dating yourself. I tend to not use that many.
Wait, I actually have another question. Are hashtags dead? Because in business...
Don't use.
Right?
No.
I've been having somebody I work with push me to use hashtags.
Except like they can garner a little bit of engagement, but I don't know if the algorithm does that anymore.
So I think they're dead.
I don't think so either.
Okay. And I did have another question about... So... You know, we're used to calling. No one your generation calls, do you? Do you?
I call. Text? I FaceTime more than I call.
Okay. How do people interact with their parents? They want to interact by text, not call.
Text. No, I think parents FaceTime. I think it's really about your parents. for that one.
What, FaceTiming?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean what they wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I put into ChatGPT. I wanted to see what it would say about your generation and popular phrases. I'd like to know if it got it right.
Okay.
Okay. And it gave also some social commentary.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to read them all at once, or
No, just one at a time, and I'll say
it's giving.
Very common.
It's giving main character energy is the example.
It's like a cringy one to use, but yeah, it's giving blank is very, very popular.
And that's is it negative, positive, neutral?
It can be used in any way. It's giving Amari Stoudemire is giving Hasidic Brooklyn.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Slay.
Yeah, slay.
People use slay?
Yeah.
Slay's a good thing, right?
Slay, yeah.
Like she slayed?
Yeah.
Like, did
Slay.
Rihanna slay at the Met Ball?
Yeah, but even you using it like that, like usually it's just like in response, like, I just got this job, slay.
I would sound like an idiot if I said, I just went to the bakery and got a baguette, slay.
Yeah, slay.
Oh my God. Okay. No cap. What's that?
Old no cap is like no caption, like, this is the best bagel I've ever had, no cap.
It says no lie, I'm serious.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Bet.
Also old, bet is like yes.
Say less. What's
Oh,
that?
yeah, say less is funny, like, we're gonna have sushi for dinner.
That's what it said.
Say less.
How'd you see that?
I
Did you
didn't.
see that? It said you want sushi question mark, say less.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing. Low key, high key. You say low key.
Yeah, low key, high key are okay.
Do you say high key? I've never heard you say that.
Eh.
Okay, I just want to say though on the record, if I used any of these, you would say I'm insane.
But it's also like the way that you say it. You're pronouncing every syllable.
Yeah.
Bet. Like,
right.
bet.
Okay, what about, I've never heard this from you.
Okay.
Mood, big mood? As in, I relate to that?
Yeah, like mood.
Really?
I'm so tired, I can't even go to my workout later. Mood.
Do people say that?
Not really anymore. That's
All right,
like
so
kind
were these on target or not really?
No, they were on target. It's just not like,
Okay.
I don't know. It's not, they ebb and flow in their popularity.
All right, let me ask a few more. Main character energy?
Yeah, Dad likes that one too, and I don't use it, but I understand.
Someone acting like the star in
They're
their own
like,
movie?
yeah, like the world revolves around you.
Oh, this we use. That's a red flag. Do you use
Red
that?
flag, yeah. That one's like not really specific to this moment in time, but yeah.
Oh, you use this. I can't.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can't.
why don't you tell people?
Like, I
how
can't
you,
even. Like, I
right,
can't.
You do say that. What about Delulu?
Delulu, I don't
Delulu?
like that one. Like, delusional.
And gaslighting? Yeah, ever about that?
Gaslight is like, yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Mid, you use mid.
No, Will uses
Yeah,
mid.
Will
Will,
uses
I think
mid.
that's like a little bit younger.
What about you ate and left no crumbs? I've
That's
never
a
heard
funny
that.
one. Yeah, like this.
You ate and left no crumbs means you did amazing.
Yeah, like you're eating. This eats.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that's not in there that I should know?
Oh my God, that's a hard one. I don't know.
All right, you think about that. Meantime, here's what bothers me a lot.
Oh, you know what one I like to use? That 8 down boots.
What's that mean?
It's like that Slade, like that 8 down.
8 down boots. I would never in my life. Okay. Here's something that bugs me. You people do all kinds of acronyms. And
We don't.
You do.
Give me an acronym.
POV.
Point of view, that's not one for my generation. I'll give you one. FAB, fuck ass Bob. You know what that is? My hair.
Is a fuck ass Bob?
Yeah, when you have a bob that looks good, it's called a fab.
That is very funny. This one says IYKYK.
If you know, you know.
Yes.
Ick yick.
I don't know what that is.
If you know, you know.
And by the way, it really bothers me on texting when you don't use grammar, punctuation,
It really
capitalization.
bothers me when you don't use grammar.
I don't like it. I
punctuation.
correct her grammar.
I
and
know
make
you
sure
don't.
yes, I do. And I make sure I use correct.
You
and
can
proper
be the grammar Nazi. I'm being efficient.
I don't like it. I don't like this KK situation. I
Okay.
think it's
Dad loves
stupid.
using
Is
using
that dated
improper.
KK?
No, KK is like an encompassing. Everyone uses it.
Okay. This has gone a little long, but I do want to talk about.
Okay, this
Close
is your
the
final.
datas.
This is your final closing out.
Okay, I do want to know about clothes.
Okay, give
right?
it to me.
Like, I noticed this week that capri pants are back, but also that sort of like flood-like bell bottoms are in, like gaucho pants look like they're in. What my generation in the 70s were called gauchos.
Okay.
So I want to know: are there things that we should not wear, like jeggings or?
Oh
skinny
God! I mean,
jeans or-
nobody should have ever worn jeggings.
Okay.
I hate skinny jeans as well.
Okay.
Those are personal to me. I wouldn't say that we're in a time of a skinny jean though.
Really, the capris are back. I love capris.
Capris are not skinny jeans.
Oh, skinny go all the way down. Yeah, they're tight.
I mean,
what,
I
bell
hate
bottoms?
I hate
Like
a
what?
sneaker heel. I don't like a sneaker heel.
No, I don't like this. Is that a wedge or a heel?
A wedge,
A
like on a
wedge.
sneaker.
Yeah, I don't like that. What about like for a long time those tops that have like open shoulders?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Really?
But like the things that you're saying are just straight up unfashionable now. Like what you're saying is not like date you, not date you.
No,
it's
but
like if
I
somebody
wear
my
tunics.
age,
Like, should I not wear a tunic?
what the fuck is a tunic?
Like my beach covered ups. Like
You're
I
not
have-
wearing that with a pair of jeans.
I might. but
I
do
wouldn't.
have a tunic.
I
that's
wouldn't.
Really pretty that I haven't worn. I want to wear it again.
I mean, if you style it right, I really just think it's all about the styling. Like, I don't think that there are certain things that really date you. I think it's more so like styled. Like, if you were an older person wearing skinny jeans, it wouldn't be as much of a fashion faux pas as it is a younger person who might be more tapped in. That being said, skinny jeans universally are a bad look in my eyes.
Are you speaking for your generation?
Well, there are some unfashionable people in my generation that wear skinny jeans, so I don't think I can take responsibility for that. As a better dressed person of my generation, I would say do not wear them.
So, for another example, for a long time, I was not tucking in shirts and wearing a belt. I've recently started to do that, and you did comment on my belt the other day.
Yes, but
is that a good look or not a good?
The
look?
belt is fine. Honestly, the thing that I find more issue with is that I feel like your tucking is completely arbitrary. It has nothing to do with the shirt.
What do you
The
mean?
shirt could fit you well, and you'll tuck it in.
Yeah,
Why?
because
shirt
I wanted
fits
the
you
belt
well.
to show.
Okay. That feels arbitrary to me.
I know, but is that unfashionable?
It's not unfashionable. It more so feels like because you're not adhering to maybe what's trendy.
Well, what's trendy?
The belt is trendy. So in that case, you actually did a great job.
Good. Okay.
But because that's not at the top of your mind, I don't really think that there's a certain fashion decision that ages you. I think it's more so how tapped into the trends you want to be.
So I hear that. Okay. Well, I think I just want to look. I think I want to dress for my age.
Exactly. So maybe that means that you'll wear skinny jeans forever.
No, I don't have any skinny jeans anymore.
I beg to differ, but that's fine.
Why? The jeans I wore yesterday are new. They are not skinny. They don't like hug me.
They're skinnier than a pair of jeans I would wear.
So that's my question. Am I supposed to be wearing bell bottoms or boot cut? Like what?
I mean, like
supposed to be
baggy
wearing?
jeans are very in right now.
Yeah, that looks
low
bad, I
waisted
think.
baggy. But if you
So
were to
no
be
high waist. Remember when the mom jeans were in? And you
yeah,
were wearing
I
high
still
waist?
wear a high waist here and there, but yes, low waisted are more trendy right now. I really do think that if it looks good on you, that's fine. Like if you look put together and nice and whatever, which is why, for example, you get mad at me, but I am an advocate of you spending more money than you want to spend on your clothing. Not because I only value fashion, but also because I think that when you get older, you have so much more accessible to you that I don't have accessible to me. So I'm trying to encourage you to take advantage of it.
But I like things that are very timeless, I think. Here's another question I have. You know, there was that whole minute where people sort of wore a blouse tucked in one in the front, and untucked in the front and tucked in the back. I thought that was ridiculous.
Like, if you look good in that, then it's not ridiculous.
But I don't understand it. It's weird. Just tuck or untuck. Why is it half and half?
You know, on some people it looks really good.
You think?
Yep. If you looked it up and saw it on like a Zara model, I don't think you would hate it.
Yeah. I'm not. What about... All right, I know. I just have to ask a few more.
We have to feed our dog shortly.
I know, but... So I've been wearing gold, but I noticed that you lately have turned to silver. And
I've worn silver my entire life, so it's not lately. I set trends.
Okay. It's true.
I am always before.
I know.
Jelly shoes, I know they've been around for a while. Every single fucking person is wearing jelly shoes. I was wearing them a summer and a half ago.
When I was 12.
I know. I'm not saying that I actually make the trends, but I do have a good eye for seeing what will come into existence. Yes, I have always mixed my jewelry, though.
But you were wearing a lot of silver for a while, and I did see in the New York Times there was an article on gold is out, silver's in, but I'm wearing gold.
I mix. I don't think
I used to always wear.
I think you're either a gold person or a silver person.
I don't think that's true. I only wore silver until my 40s.
Your skin tone looks better with gold.
I know, right? I think so too. I think so too. What about like chunky jewelry?
Love.
Really? But I think on women my age, it looks like, I don't know.
No, I think it can look cool.
Really?
This is what I'm trying to express to you. Like, if you do it right, anything could look good on you.
So then how do we know? We take you shopping with us? We have to take our kids with us to show us?
No, not everybody's kids are as fashionable as I am. Go shopping. Go shopping with Will. See what you come out wearing then.
Oh God. Okay. So do my clothes date me? Or are my clothes pretty basic so they just look...
I think that it is easier to spot which women keep up with trends based upon what they are wearing. That being said, I don't think it's expected that all moms wear X, Y, and Z things. I think it just shows which moms might be keeping up with it. In the same way that some people are better dressed than others, it's just like maybe that woman has a better eye than somebody else.
Yes. I think for me personally, I used to really care what I wore, particularly when I was your age and a little older, and certainly when I worked. And I was in the magazine business. I think I care much less now because it feels a little bit like work. I used to love it, and it made me excited.
I hate to be the one who says... I hate to be the one to say this, but there is this big phenomenon about women your age feeling like they're overlooked and people aren't looking at them in the same way they used to when they were younger. Do you agree with that? Feeling a little bit invisible?
I think we 100% feel invisible.
Yes, and I think part of that is, unfortunately, on you. Because if you're not caring about what you're wearing, then why does the world need to care about what you're wearing?
Like shit. I'm just saying that I'm dressing.
I'm not telling you look like shit, but like as anybody gets older, more of an effort has to be put in. And I'm not saying that it completely contributes to it, but like I know that for the foreseeable parts of my life, like it will be important to me what I wear, and I really like getting compliments on my clothing and feeling stylish and fashionable, and that matters to me. And if that stopped at some point, I would be upset, but I feel like you're not a victim if you don't care.
No, but Ava, there is so much.
I mean, there's a larger conversation. I know, but I'm just saying,
older women in society are not overlooked because we don't give a shit about what we wear. I mean, I know. I'm just merely stating when you walk into on the street and you're not like people aren't looking at your outfit. Like, if you don't care, you don't care.
There are very well-dressed older people that I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, and I'm saying to you,
yes, I know it's a systemic issue.
I also think there's a middle ground here, right? I feel like I put myself together. Maybe I'm not wearing the highest of fashion, but I definitely put myself together to look nice. And I think I feel comfortable and I look nice. And I think that's good for me. Now, is it making a statement enough to walk into a
But
bar?
you're not expecting to make a statement.
No, I'm not.
So I think some of these women are.
I see. Yes, I think I see those women on Instagram.
Like Donna. Like Donna, if you walk in wearing a black dress, you're a middle-aged lady wearing a black dress. Like, good for you. But like, you know, there are some of these people that curate these amazing outfits. And it's like, Donna, you're wearing really cool jewelry and you look fabulous with your hair and you're still the same age. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I guess what I realized in this conversation is I'm not sure how much it matters to me.
Right. And maybe you don't care.
Or maybe I've dressed differently. Because I think one thing I don't want to do is look silly wearing trends that are too young for me.
Like, I don't think I would venture out to say that most older women are not jumping at the chance to buy low-rise jeans. And I don't think that necessarily needs to be the case.
Right.
But if you want to wear low-rise jeans, it's your prerogative. Wear them.
Yes. I think that was a very hard moment for me, getting to an age where I felt like, wow, because I used to wear a lot of mini stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no more.
But if you still wanted to do that, there is a way for you to do that appropriately. And I do believe that.
I think in the summer it's hard. Like in the winter, you can wear tights and boots and it looks good.
Okay. I believe that if there's a will, there is a way.
Okay.
Where's our will?
Where's our Will? He's on his way home. Okay, so could you just like give me a takeaway here?
Takeaway is
what
some people got it and some people don't.
No. We don't want to age ourselves.
You don't want to age yourselves. I think you got to be true to yourself and what you like and what you feel most comfortable in. But I also think that you cannot go in with the expectation that everybody's going to think that you're like groundbreaking, looking amazing, awesome. I don't go in with that expectation either. I just wear what I like to wear. And I happen to sometimes get compliments and other times not. But I think when you put emphasis on wanting to be cool or wanting to be up on the trends and it's not natural and it's not out of a place of genuine connection and curiosity, it feels fake and pushed.
I just don't want to age myself.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe some of it is coming to terms with the fact that you have aged, and so...
No, I'm fine with aging. I just don't want to look...
Like, if you came home and kept saying slay to me, I would be like, it's really fucking weird.
Okay.
But, like, honestly, if we're going to be real, like... Dad does have all of his lingo that he like learns from his patients, and like it's really only acceptable when Dad does it. What I realized is that like no other person can use language in the way Dad does. Like when Dad pulls out like blah 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 was given BDE the other day. Like, why is Dad saying big dick energy? But also he's the only one that could get away with it.
It's true. Dad has younger patients, and so he keeps a list of all the lingo he hears, and he wants to research and know what they are. And it's very funny when he
Or if Dad told me I was slaying, like, only he could do that.
Oh, my God. That's funny. Dad might be hip in his own weird way.
Oh, my God. It's just that he's so, like, his curiosity for the lingo is so natural and not forced.
Yes.
Like, he's just curious about it, which makes it all the more endearing.
It is very funny.
But like when people are like texting, like, go off, sis. I'm like, okay, Mom. Okay. Thanks.
I've never done that. Okay. All right. That's it for us this week.
Please ask us questions at totallyunqualifiedpod@gmail.com. Follow our social media at totallyunqualifiedpodcast on Instagram and TikTok. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We might have a special guest. Yeah. Bye. Have a great week. Do you have anything to say?
Nope. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.